Meg, your birthday's coming up, huh? You excited about turning...
Lois Griffin gets away with everything because she sounds like the responsible one. But under that calm voice is a full-blown menace who's emotionally wrecked her kids more times than Peter's wrecked his car.
Ah, damn you!
Come on, you just touched it!
These are the times Lois was an absolutely terrible mother. Let's start the show. In Season 4, Episode 19, Lois decides that what Meg really needs is a fun little spring break getaway. But in classic Griffin fashion, that innocent idea snowballs into public flashing, handcuffs, and a mugshot. Because when Lois tries to bond with her daughter, it usually ends in trauma and criminal charges. It starts with Meg being her usual sad, no plans, no friends, just sitting in her room like the background character she is. Spring break is here, and once again, nobody thought to include Meg. Lois, feeling vaguely maternal for the first time all year, tries to cheer her up with a spontaneous girls only vacation.
I just want to go home and spend the next 3 days in solitary confinement where I belong.
Well, I tried.
Lois realizes her daughter is allergic to joy, so she does what any responsible mom wouldn't do. She takes Meg to an actual spring break beach party. Lois walks into that party and immediately loses her entire sense of reality. Beer pong, grinding on strangers, just full send into college chaos. Meanwhile, Meg is stuck outside, wondering how her mom became the problem.
What am I doing here? I've been waiting out here for hours.
What?
Then comes the worst idea of all. Lois tells Meg to flash the crowd. And because Meg has no boundaries left, she actually does it. 1 second of screaming applause, followed by police sirens and a fast track to county jail.
I can't believe I just showed everyone my tater tots. Worst of all, now I'm gonna have a police record.
Yep, Lois got her daughter arrested on a bonding trip, and somehow, she still acts like it was a valuable life experience. You have to get your hands dirty sometimes. Lois didn't fix anything. She turned Meg's worst week into a crime scene. And the scariest part is, this was Lois operating in vacation mode. Because the next time she spirals, it's not just about embarrassing the family. It's about burning Christmas to the ground. In Season 3, Episode 16, Lois starts off trying to host the perfect family Christmas. But somewhere between the burnt dinner, the ruined presents, and the total mental breakdown, she transforms into a full-blown holiday war criminal. By the end of it, she's screaming on a bridge and gets tranquilized like a wild animal. You know, classic Christmas stuff. It begins with Lois doing the whole overly optimistic mom routine. She's looking at the star on the tree, talking about the magic of the season, and pretending her family isn't one burnt turkey away from total collapse.
Happy birthday, Jesus! 7 major milk and 6 major milk and 5 major milk.
Peter, of course, makes things worse by accidentally donating every single Christmas present to a charity drive.
Peter, only one gift was for charity. The rest were for the family.
No, the rest were from the family. Weren't they? Ah, crap.
Somehow, Lois holds it together. She even says she's a little irritated, but she appreciates that at least someone is having a good Christmas. You can literally see the cracks forming in her voice. Her inner Grinch is bubbling up, just waiting to snap.
Brian, my turkey's in the oven. Can you turn it off at 3?
No problem.
Then the house nearly burns down. Brian, trying to stop a fire caused by Peter's novelty fire extinguisher, ends up freezing the living room like Elsa had a breakdown. The dinner is ruined, the decorations are trashed, everyone's screaming, and that's when Lois hits her final form.
You all think Christmas just happens. You think all this goodwill just falls from the freaking sky. Well, it doesn't!
Eventually, she climbs the town Christmas tree like King Kong in a bathrobe, screaming about how the holidays are ruined and how her family doesn't appreciate her. She's literally shaking the star on top like it owes her money. It takes Stewie, dressed as Jesus and delivering a heartfelt speech, to calm her down. For a second, it works. And then the town just straight up tranquilizes her, right there. In the middle of her big speech, boom, down she goes.
Mom,
Oh, it's okay, Meg. Your mom's just full of Christmas cheer and enough tranquilizer to bring down a bull elephant.
And honestly, maybe she needed it. Being a mom is hard. Being a mom in this family, practically a full-time psychiatric test. But blaming everyone else for her breakdown, that's peak Lois. The meltdown was coming either way. Christmas just gave her an excuse to unleash it. And if tranquilizer darts seem extreme, just wait, because next, Lois tries to teach her kids a lesson about morality. In season 17, episode 12, Lois goes full concerned parent after catching Stewie and Chris vaping. But here's the twist, she's literally smoking behind their backs. Because nothing says responsible motherhood like punishing your kids for a habit you're secretly addicted to. It starts with Chris getting roped into babysitting Stewie, which is already a red flag. He gets invited to a party and obviously brings the baby along, because who wouldn't trust a high school rager as a suitable place for an infant?
I see we're smoking.
We're not smoking, we're vaping.
What's the difference?
Smoking is for losers. Vaping is for douchebags.
Stewie wanders off and, like any curious baby with access to horrible influences, finds a vape pen. And in true Griffin family fashion, he decides to go full send, puffing clouds, doing smoke tricks, talking like he's already developed a nicotine addiction and his SoundCloud account.
Vaping isn't bad for you?
It can't be bad for you if Stephen Dorff gave up acting for it.
It does seem like they're making it for kids.
Of course, Lois eventually busts into Stewie's room, not to check on him, but to steal money, because sure, let's ignore that detail. She sees the vape and immediately loses it. Chris gets blamed. Stewie gets scolded.
You are grounded, mister.
Now look what you did, you little son of a bitch!
She has my vaporizer. You have to get it back.
But here's the kicker, she's been secretly smoking, like actual cigarettes, the real cancer sticks. And she's out here judging her kids like she's never coughed up a lung behind the garage. Chris calls her out, but Lois doesn't back down. Instead, she doubles down on the shame and acts like she's morally superior. This entire situation could have been a moment of honest parenting, a teachable life lesson, but Lois decided to make it about control. She wanted to be the enforcer, not the example. She punished her kids for doing the exact thing she refuses to give up. And yeah, vaping is dumb. But you know what's worse? Being a hypocrite with a lighter in one hand and your kids' trust in the other. And if that sounds bad, just wait, because the next time Lois wants to teach her kids values, she sends them to Christian camp. Not because she believes in it, but because she thinks they're too stupid to know better. In season 18, episode 5, Lois decides her kids are turning into little criminals, so she sends them to a Christian summer camp to build some morals. But here's the problem. She doesn't actually believe in any of it. She just thinks religion is a good way to scare stupid people into behaving. And in this case, the stupid people are her own children. It starts with Meg and Chris getting caught cheating at school, not a huge shock. Half the time, Chris doesn't even know what country he's in, and Meg just wants a win at literally anything. Lois reacts the way any rational parent wouldn't. She packs them up and ships them off to Sunrise Woods Bible Camp, a wholesome, God-fearing boot camp with all the fun of a cult and none of the critical thinking.
What, and how are you gonna make any friends at camp? There you go. Now chug all this next to a lake, you little rascal.
Right away, it's exactly what you'd expect. Bland crafts, unhinged camp counselors. Jesus paintings with historically questionable features.
A little dark on the hair there. Let's lighten it up. Lighten it up. Eyes should be blue.
It's basically vacation Bible school with a side of psychological damage. Lois acts like she's doing the right thing, but it's clear she's just outsourcing her parenting to a bunch of strangers who read one verse and decided they were prophets. And if that wasn't enough, she ends the trip by stealing the camp counselor's car keys. While everyone else is praying, Lois is Grand Theft Autoing her way off church property.
And the first one to open their eyes is gay.
And if you think that's bad parenting, hold on to something. Because next, Lois doesn't just abandon her kids spiritually, she leaves them physically to go live in a millennial apartment complex without them. In season 19, episode 17, Lois gets mistaken for a young parent at a preschool event, and instead of correcting anyone, she takes it as a chance to hit reset on her entire life. She ditches her family, moves into a trendy millennial apartment complex, and pretends she never had kids. Because nothing says Mother of the Year like leaving your children for a better fridge. It starts at a parent-teacher night, where Lois and Peter somehow get confused for young, cool first-time parents. And instead of laughing it off, Lois leans into it like it's a full-blown identity crisis.
Oh my God, Peter, did you hear that?
What? I'm chewing celery. I can't hear anything.
They think Stewie's our first.
Suddenly, she's bonding with hip 20-somethings, vaping at parties, and pretending she doesn't have to teenagers who have been emotionally neglected since birth. Peter goes along with it, mostly because he thinks living in a high-rise with kombucha and rooftop Wi-Fi sounds better than dealing with Chris's sock collection and Meg's constant despair. They fake a story about a dying uncle, stock up the fridge, and move out, leaving Meg and Chris home alone with zero explanation. No parenting plan, no goodbye, just vibes.
Wow, they're really gone. You know what that means.
We can
finally crate Brian. He tricked us.
Lois is out here pretending she's 28 and discovering oat milk for the first time. The real kicker, she doesn't even seem conflicted about it. She's thrilled drinking wine with strangers, going to music festivals, posting on Instagram like she's one breakup away from starting a podcast. Eventually, the kids find her and try to expose her for the fraud she is. But by that point, Lois has already emotionally clocked out. She's ready to trade in her family for Coachella tickets and matching hoodies. It takes a full meltdown to make her realize she's not 25 anymore. And sadly, leaving her kids behind wasn't even her most dangerous idea. Because the next time Lois wants to feel alive, she takes the entire family on a trip to Mount Everest, and someone does not come back. In season 11, episode 1, Lois decides that dragging her family up the deadliest mountain on Earth is somehow a good bonding activity. She turns a petty flex into a full-blown survival crisis, and by the time it's over, they've resorted to cannibalism. So yeah, not exactly your average family vacation. It all starts at a dinner with Lois's ex-boyfriend Ross. He's rich, in shape, and planning to climb Mount Everest with his picture-perfect family. Naturally, Peter feels insecure, and Lois feeds that fire with a level of competitiveness usually reserved for psychotic sports parents. Instead of telling Peter to let it go, she decides they're going to do it too. No training, no planning, just vibes and a plane ticket to Nepal.
But if the Fishmans can do it, so can we.
Yeah, we're just as good as them or any other family.
That's right. You guys, we're climbing Mount Everest.
They arrive at base camp with absolutely no idea what they're doing. Peter's eating snow, Meg looks like she already has frostbite, and Lois is acting like this is the healthiest thing they've ever done as a family. Which, in her defense, is kind of true, but also cannibalism. Shockingly, they actually make it to the summit. They plant their flag, flip off the competition. Lois gets her petty little victory, and just as they start heading back down, a blizzard rolls in. Because of course it does, visibility drops, they get separated. And then, in the most Family Guy way possible, they find one of the other climbers frozen in the snow, and immediately decide to eat him. No hesitation.
I guess we don't have a choice.
I am oddly prepared for this.
I'll leave it here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or you'll be Lois's child. Bye.